Today on Comic Misconceptions, we're going to talk about possibly comic history's greatest animal sidekick, who's also an octopus. So... Hello and welcome to Comic Misconceptions, a show that takes you into detail about the things you think you know about comics. I'm your host, Scott Niswander. Before we do anything, you might be noticing that it looks a little bit different, hopefully better. We got a brand new camera. It looks great. A lot of changes around here. New camera, new studio, new format, of the trivia stuff. But, hopefully it's all for the better. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And let's get right into today's episode. So last week's trivia challenge was, what is the name of Aquaman's animal sidekick that is purple, has 8 arms, and can play a mean cello? Sierra on Facebook said Topo, which you don't need the question mark because you are absolutely correct, which is what today's episode is about. Topo, the incredibly useful and smart animal sidekick to Aquaman. But before we go into this episode, I want you to know it was really hard to find pictures of Topo on the internet. So bear with me here. You're going to be seeing a lot of this today. So if that doesn't deter you right from the start, then let's get right to it. Topo was first introduced to us in Adventure Comics number 229, which the story in that is actually kind of fun. There were a couple convicts that escaped from a Canadian prison, which I can only assume went something like this.
Can I go through here? Just be back by bedtime, okay.
And now the criminals are sea-bound, so the Mounties call on Aquaman to save the day. Aquaman is so inspired by these Mounties that he says the only way he can be sure to catch these criminals is if he had a smart animal sidekick, like the Mounties have their horses. Aquaman then, by the suggestion of the Mounties, holds essentially tryouts for animal sidekicks. The 3 contenders are a whale, a swordfish, and a yet-to-be-named young, spry octopus who we will come to know as Topo. Topo is first to get a shot at the sidekick position, but Aquaman thinks that he's too clumsy, as it appears that he is caught in the ship's propeller. But it was later revealed to Aquaman by the captain of the ship that their engines had died, and Topo actually attached himself to the end of the boat and used his arms to act like the propeller to steer it away from an oncoming iceberg that would have resulted in disaster of titanic proportions. Puns. So Topo becomes Aquaman's animal sidekick, which it's actually cooler than it sounds. Over the years, Topo has shown us a great many talents, like being really, really smart, rivaling human intelligence, and even being able to communicate with other fish and humans without the presence of Aquaman. He's also really strong and was taught by Green Arrow how to use 4 bows simultaneously to shoot arrows at bad guys. Topo shows off his usefulness outside of battle as well, being an occasional butler towards Aquaman, and he's actually really musically gifted as well, being able to play 5 instruments simultaneously. Topo is definitely a superior animal sidekick and definitely not expendable. Aquaman knows this, as shown here, when Aquaman notices Topo sprained his tentacle, so he sets up an underwater clinic and wraps up that tentacle and several other body parts for some reason, until his trusty partner is ready for action once more. And just for fun, here he is milking a cow. Now, many of you may know that DC relaunched their line of comics in 2011, which brings on changes in continuity for their comics like Aquaman. In Aquaman number 19, we get a first glimpse at the newly redesigned Topo. Goodbye, octopus. Hello, gigantic sea beast. Yes, in the New 52, Topo is a monstrous nautical behemoth that Aquaman has to summon with a conch. He's even feared by the Atlanteans, who think he's a dangerous, deadly sea beast, which is awesome. But aside from these couple of pages, we really haven't seen that much of Topo in the New 52, so hopefully that'll change soon. Maybe he'll join Aquaman for some adventures. Who knows? Who knows what the future could hold for our beloved Topo. What do you guys think? Do you think Topo is the ultimate animal sidekick? Leave your comments below. We'd love to see what you think. We may even feature them in the next show. But before we go, you know what time it is. It's time for that weekly trivia challenge. So with the Man of Steel premiere coming in just a couple days, I really wanted to pump out some Superman episodes for you guys. In fact, for the next 2 weeks or so, NerdSync is going to be fully doing Superman related episodes in all of our shows, from behind the frame where we got some cool props and effect tutorials that are related to Superman, as well as some original shorts related to him as well, and including episodes of Comic Misconceptions. There's so much interesting trivia that I didn't know about Superman, and it's very fascinating, including this little bit of trivia right here. When Superman debuted in Action Comics #1, what were his only 3 powers? That's right, we're so used to the Superman that has a butt ton of powers, but he actually only started out with just a measly 3. So if you think you know them or you want to take a stab at it, please leave your answers in the comments below. You can also do it on Facebook as well, or you can tweet at NerdSync using the #CMTrivia. If you get it right, you could be featured on the next show, and we're also thinking about giving away prizes on occasion. Not for the next one, but maybe sometime in the foreseeable future. Let us know what you guys think. I think it'd be kind of neat. But as always, get started on this week's trivia challenge. One really quick thing before we leave here today, I just want to give a big shout out to Soundwave for all their support. It's a local comic book shop near us. They let us put a whole bunch of flyers in their store, which is just awesome. They also have a YouTube show every Wednesday called Soundwave Minutes, which discusses the new comic books that come out. It's definitely worth a look. Even if you're not anywhere near this area, if you don't shop at Soundwave, it's still really fun and entertaining. And you can learn about some great comics that are coming out. So definitely check them out. And of course, you can always subscribe to NerdSync Productions for more comic misconceptions and other great videos that we're constantly putting out on a weekly basis. You can like NerdSync Productions on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Niswander. And for NerdSync Productions, I am Scott. I'll see you next week when we talk about more things that you thought you knew about comics. See you later. He had a smart animal sidekick. Topo has shown a great many talents, including really smartness. Unlike me just then, that didn't sound very smart. Really smartness though. Really smartness? Really? I think that's it. I think I'm done. It's 2:30 a.m. I'm gonna take a nap now. All right.